welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Well, may the soul of those who actually lost their life over there in Turkey rest in peace. As we start on the show with that particular occurrence, Turkey earthquake, Christian Atsu, Ghanaian footballer found alive. A lot of worry concerning that yesterday. It was a Black Monday as that particular earthquake destroyed a lot of activities in Turkey and a lot of lives actually lost there. But the Ghanaian footballer Christian Atsu has been found, and right now he's in the hospital when that particular affair actually ran through. A lot of footballers and Nigerians, Ghanaians are really so worried concerning this particular story. Joining me in the studio is Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
It's my pleasure being here. May the soul of those who lost their lives in both Turkey and Syria, 7.8 magnitude earthquake, rest in peace. It's and like rightly put, a Black Monday.
Yes.
You know, when you have about 4,352 people lost their life, both from the Turkey and the Syrian side, and we have about 15,800 hospitalized currently right now, and the search is still ongoing. So yes, and a lot of worried about the Ghanaian
footballer Christian
Atsu, and also a lot of worry about other people also. So it's not only about an individual this time around, it's about the whole country, the whole world, and they are really with them, and we're praying for them, and we're praying for the souls of the departed one. It's actually a Black Monday to say. It's very horrible.
Since 1939.
Yeah, 1939, when they had about over 30,000 people lost their life in the earthquake in Turkey in 1939. So this is going to be the second highest since that time up to today. So it's a sad one. Seriously, it's a sad one.
A sad one. Talking about Black Monday in Turkey and also in Syria, where that particular incident really happened. Hopefully, those still under the rubble will be found. And to let you know that Nigerian Football Federation also actually came out to say, well, no Nigerian footballer is actually trapped over there in Turkey. That's another story we're looking at. No Nigerian footballer trapped in Turkey earthquake. They've actually made call to all the Nigerian players in Turkey to find out how they are doing, and everyone actually responded, so all of them are safe.
Yeah, I think a good one from the current NFF. If you look at the Nigerian players that we have in Turkey, I think they're about 10 or 11, so they're not that much. So getting responses from them will be that difficult. I also hope that the federal government will use this opportunity also to look at the Nigerians that we have in both countries to be sure that we don't have any of them affected in this situation. So a good one from the NFF. The federal government also should do their own part by contacting the embassy and see if we don't have any Nigerians affected by this sad incident that really occurred.
Well, it was a sad one there in Turkey and also in Syria, where a lot of people actually lost their lives. They are so rest in peace. I will talk about Nigeria. NFF have actually done their part. The federal government has also been urged to check Nigerians and also those one in Turkey and in Syria. Well, while we look at that particular story, let's quickly move to England. It was another day when it comes to football. Well, Leeds United, they parted way with their former coach now, Jesse March. Leeds United, after Jesse March, what's the next thing now?
And they've matched the Jesse March out of there. You know, when he came in last year, I think Leeds United, they finished 17th on the log table. So he left them also on the 17th log table when they have to sack him. And I'm not blaming them. We're talking about Leeds United that they've won the Premier League before in the year 1992. And 2010, when they got promoted from the Championship to Premier League, they finished 9th on the log table. That's 2010-2021 season. 2021-2022 season, a lot of things went wrong for them. That was when they finished on 17th. And they finished 17th on the log table. And currently right now, they are still sitting 17th. In fact, it's the only good difference between them and Everton. They're having -8, Everton is having -18, but they're having the same point. They've played 20 matches. They won only 4 matches. They drew 6 and they lost 10. So if you look at it, this is the best time for them to look at their performance and take the right decision. They've played 20 matches from 38 matches. So that means they still have 18 matches to play, and each match is 3 points. So if they can salvage at least about 15 to 20 points from the available points left for them. So probably they can escape the relegation, because the fight for relegation battle this season will be more intense than the fight for the Champions League spot. So I think they took the right decision by asking him to go. Nothing to offer again.
Well, from what we're actually hearing, a lot of coaches being lined up, so many names, so many. In fact, someone's Stockel name actually appeared. Rafa Benitez was also mentioned in place of Jesse March, not forgetting Nuno Espirito Santo, not forgetting a lot of coaches, even Lampard, Gerrard. Steve Gerrard was also mentioned there. But we'll be getting to that particular side where we know about a man that has been topping the particular list of all the coaches that we merge as Leeds United coach. Although Bielsa also being listed, but from the way it is, a lot of them, not forgetting Steve Bruce, former Wigan coach, right now is also listed. But let's quickly move away from there. But still in the English Premier League, a news broke out yesterday concerning Manchester City. Let's look at that story. Financial fair play rules. Man City versus Premier League. We're looking at that story very, very deep. Let's look at what happened. What have City been charged with? Let's look at that particular one where the Premier League says City breached rules related to UEFA regulations, including financial fair play (FFP) from 2013-2014 to 2017-2018, as well as Premier League rules on profitability and sustainability from 2015-16, 17-18. In accordance with Premier League rule, the Premier League confirms that it has to date, that was yesterday now, referred a number of alleged breaches of the Premier League rules by Manchester City Football Club to a commission under Premier League Rule W34. Commissions are independent of the Premier League and member clubs. The members of the commission will be appointed by the independent chair of the Premier League Judicial Panel in accordance with Premier League rules. The proceedings before the Commission will, in accordance with Premier League Rule 82, be confidential and held in private under Premier League Rule. The Commission final award will be published on the Premier League's website. This confirmation is made in accordance with Premier League Rule. The Premier League will be making no further comment in respect of this matter until further notice. In 2020, European Football Governing Body UEFA ruled that City committed serious breaches of FFP regulations between 2012 and 2016. However, the Court of Arbitration for Sport overturned a 2-year ban from European competitions later that year. Let's start with this.
Okay, I think when the news broke out yesterday, some people are happy already that, okay, probably what happens to Juventus
will happen to Manchester
City. And jokingly, I told a friend that even if Manchester City at the end of the investigation, they were found one and they deduct 15 points from their current point, they'll still be ahead of your team, and the guy happens to be a Chelsea fan. So whatever happens, you still remain where you are. Okay, now if you look at what happened now, it took the Premier League 4 years to conclude this investigation. They started this investigation 4 years ago, and for them to now come out now with all their findings, I think there is cause for concern for Manchester City to be really, really worried about, to be honest with you. And in this case, unlike the case of the UEFA, when they were banned 2 years and they were sanctioned with £25 million, which they went to Court of Arbitration for Sport. In this situation, there is no Court of Arbitration in Premier League. Whatever the independent commission, whatever their verdict is I think it's 15-man committee will be set up for this purpose. The identity, everything will be done secretively. So by the time they conclude their own investigation, there's no right of appeal. Unlike the UEFA, that you have to go and appeal, go to Court of Arbitration. So it's a very serious issue. And if they spend 4 good years to look at all these breaches, I think it's 100 breaches they mentioned, not only one, 100, coming from speaking with young players that are underage, by inflating the salaries of their manager, including Roberto Mancini, for about 4 years. the subscription sponsorship revenue that they're supposed to declare their sponsorship revenue. They didn't make the amount of money they claimed they made. It was the owner that injected his own personal money into the sponsorship revenue. So that gave them undue advantage over other Premier League clubs. So all this is real detailed. I don't know how Manchester City is going to come out of this, but if they have nothing to hide or to be afraid of, by now, one thing about life is our conscience. If you have done something wrong, the moment they are asking you, your conscience will be telling you that, man,
you are wrong.
That will really happen. But if what they are saying is, no, I have nothing to be afraid of, then you moved on with your life. So either way, either they've done something wrong, or it is just a way of dealing with Manchester City owners, the way they dealt with Roman Abramovich, and everybody were jumping up and down, left, right, and center. It has come to them also. So let's see what will happen. It's not something that they will conclude in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
It's going to drag on.
It's going to drag on up till maybe next year. So let's wait and see their final verdict. But sincerely, you can't conduct an investigation for 4 good years. We're not talking about Nigerian investigation. No. We're talking about detailed investigation where they have all the evidences. Exhibits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roberto Mancini, his salary between 2009 to 2013, how much is supposed to be paid, how much they reported that is being paid. Also, some other players, how much they registered them, that this is the amount of money they are being paid, and this is the total amount that they are being paid. When it comes to issue of cheating their government, take it or leave it, they will go to any length to prove you wrong, because in one way or the other, probably there's some, as a club, you pay what they call corporation or company tax to their government. Players also, they have their own tax that they pay also to the government. If you are earning 200,000, and they now say what you are earning is 150,000, so in one way or the other, what have you done to the government? You are shortchanging the government. So they're not going to take it likely with them. I'm sure by the end of the day, we'll really see what transpired and what really happened.
We are still talking about the Manchester story, but a lot of lawyers will be hired by Manchester City to see how they can get out from this. But from the way it is, anything can still happen. But now let's look at Manchester City's statement after our Premier League released this particular one. Manchester City is surprised by the issuing of these alleged breaches of the Premier League rules, particularly given the extensive engagement and vast amount of detailed materials that the EPL has been provided with. The club welcomed the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its positions. As such, we look forward to this matter being put to rest once and for all. City said the allegations were entirely false, and the allegations in their spiritual came from illegal hacking and out of context publication of City emails. Manchester City were not given advance warning of the Premier League statement. They were called at the same time the statement was published. Manchester City have always denied financial wrongdoing. They always said the detail published by their spiritual when it was passed, information by football leagues was incomplete. Well, they too, they have made their own side of the story right now.
I'm not a lawyer, but sincerely from their statement, they are guilty. do they need to give you an advance warning to explain what we have in your statement? Now, let me put it in a very simpler way for you to understand. You have your account that you are running, okay? And we are doing an investigation to see probably you've done something wrong or not. Now, we obtain your account details from the bank you are using. And from the transaction in that your statement of account, we are asking you questions. And you are now saying that I did not provide you enough time for you to be ready to prepare response to the financial transaction in your own account. I don't know how, I don't even get the point. So I don't think there's any defense for them based on this their own statement. But nevertheless, let's wait and see what happened. But sincerely, they've done something wrong before they can come out publicly concerning this case. Investigation that took 4 good years to be concluded. Come on, it's not something you're going to throw under the buses like that no, I've not done anything wrong. No, you've done something wrong. Probably they said you've breached 100
rules.
100 rules. Maybe it's not going to be 100 rules. It's
Maybe
going to be
50.
70, 60, or 50.
But you've breached
But
some.
the issue is you've breached something. What are the penalties for what you have breached?
Good one. Now, that's the question you asked now. What are the penalties there? Let's now look at what punishment can the Independent Commission impose on a club. Number one, they can suspend a club from playing league matches, point deductions, recommend to the board that league matches be replayed, recommend to the board that the league expels the respondent club, order compensation, cancel or refuse registration of players, conditional punishment, order the club to pay costs, make such order as it thinks fit.
Okay, from this, I think it's only two from this penalty that can really happen. Either point deduction, that is if they are able to conclude the investigation before the end of the season. And if not, maybe next season, they are starting the league with minus 20 or 30 points. So it's either of the way. Then the second one is to order the club to pay cost. I think it's either of the two. I don't think the punishment would be to expel them from Premier League or to recommend to the board that the matches be replayed. At whose cost, whose expense? Who is going to take care of that?
Of the matches.
Of the matches of the other team also. So I don't think that may likely happen. And they cannot take it or leave it. They cannot expel them from the Premier League. And they cannot cancel or refuse registration of, yes, they can do that also. That, okay, in the next 2 or 3 years, we're not going to sign any player, just like UEFA did before in 2020, that, okay, you'll be given 2 years ban that you cannot
signing
players. The same thing can happen also, that, okay, the next 2 years, you can't sign any players, okay, or they order them to pay compensation or match deduction. I'm sure it's either of the three that will happen to them at the end of the investigation.
From this particular story that has to do with Manchester City, we've been looking at what did they do wrong, what did they say, and what could be the penalty if found wanting. Just giving you update concerning Manchester City and Premier League. Is a big case there. They will just have to at least get a lot of smart lawyers that will do that job for them against the Premier League findings. After 4 years, they've been investigating them quietly, and right now they came up with that particular verdict yesterday concerning this club that play at the Etihad Stadium. Well, Pep Guardiola, the coach or manager of Man City, says, well, he has always asked questions concerning Manchester City, and they've always been telling him the truth. But if he discovers that all these things are lies, he will no longer be friends with Man City, even walk away.
That is not expected of him. That's the truth. And this is not the time for him to come out with such statements. That's the truth. And where lies his loyalty? Even if they have done something wrong, if he has been asking them, this is not the time for him to come out and try to do as if you are a saint. No, take it or leave it. The issue should be they shouldn't even hear anything or any comment from you. Now you want to walk away. He wants to walk away because he's not going to win Premiership.
No, he said if he discovers, because he's always asking questions. If he hears any story about this, he will confirm. They say, yes, that's the truth. If you hear about this, he will confirm that's the truth. But now, from this, all these that happened.
Oh, is it that he's doubting?
No, I don't think he's doubting. He's just trying to make it clear that he believes in Manchester City.
No,
that
the statement doesn't speak as if he believes in Manchester City. If he believes in Manchester City, the statement would be that I am with Manchester City. That clause that if the findings has to be true, I walk away, wouldn't be there if you believe in the statement. There shouldn't be any conditional statement. If you believe in a cause, no conditional statements. I'm with you 100%. That is what is expected of a coach of Pep Guardiola, or he should just keep quiet. There's no need for him. Nobody ask him questions.
Let the journalists will not let him read. They will always be pressing for questions.
Yes, definitely. That is the job. They'll be asking you to. But if you don't give questions, have you done anything wrong? They can't force it out of your mouth. The case is already in court, and I can't speak on the case that is already in court. Is that not a simple way of answering the question? It is a simple way of answering questions.
Well, we were waiting drama there between Manchester City and Premier League. Big one there. Well, we continue to look at development concerning that, and we bring it down each time it actually breaks. Now, let's leave Manchester City alone. Now, let's talk about Leeds United again. But this time around, a particular coach, Carlos Corberán, has been listed as the one at least topping the ranks of shortlisted replacement for Jesse March.
Yeah, if they go for him, a good coach. He joined West Brom last year in October That was when they sacked their former coach, who played 14 matches and he won only one. But since he came on board, he has played 16 matches and he has won 11 matches.
For West Brom.
For West Brom. In fact, their last 5 matches, he has won 4 matches, he drew only 1. So he has not lost in the last 5 matches. And he's still very young. He's just 39 years old. So that shows that, okay, he has the age on his side and he needs the experience also. And he's going to get the experience when it comes to the Premier League. He has done it with West Brom, because West Brom, they are more like, I think, as at that October, their position was 16 on the table. But currently now they are sitting 6th on the championship. Really moved them up. So he has really moved them up, 10 above where he met them. He has won 11 matches from about 16 matches. So I think it's a very good one for Leeds United if they can go for him and they give him time to grow. He signed 2.5 years deal with West Brom, so that means they're going to pay also, because the remaining time of his contract with West Brom, they have to be compensated. He joined in October and this is February, so that means he has spent only about 4 or 5 months with them.
Well, I just hope it will happen, because I know at times a particular coach or manager will be topping the rank, and from nowhere, I still remember what happened concerning how they got Graham Potter, how they got the man that has been appointed to take over at Everton. At times, Sean Dyche, before he was appointed, a particular name was mentioned before the man said, no, I won't be coming because of the fact that I'm not sure if the style I'm bringing, that's Marcelo Bielsa. And now for Leeds United, a lot of names have been mentioned, like we said earlier, a lot of names. And among those names, I want to pick out 2. Rafael Benitez and Thomas Tuchel. Do you think they want to come to this club?
No, I doubt Thomas Tuchel wants to come to a team like Leeds United with their current situation. Take it or leave it, whatever happens to him when he was at Chelsea, we are talking about a Champions League winner. The same thing with Rafael Benitez also. Sincerely, I don't think it would be a good thing for even their career and their resume for them to come to Leeds United. That's the truth. So the coach they are looking out for is the best, I think, in my own opinion, should go to Leeds United. He's not coming under any pressure. Nobody knows him as a world-class coach or as a good coach. He's just a coach. So let him
He's
come.
just breaking forth.
Just breaking forth. He's just a coach, just breaking forth. So let him come and prove his worth. That's the truth. Then when you are making comparisons, sincerely, you don't be comparing Graham Potter to the job of Chelsea. Honestly, let's be sincere with ourselves. You can't use that one to judge this current situation. Chelsea is already an established and a good club that wins title, trophy year in, year out. And you can't bring an average coach to come there and perform. Just like what happens to Manchester United. When they bring Ole Solskjaer to come and manage Manchester United, we know what happened at the end of the day. There are some clubs, take it or leave it. If you are not a good coach, that you've done something before, you have the experience, you have the respect, you cannot prosper in that perspective.
Let's see what will happen to Leeds United. Who will they be appointing? We are waiting for that particular news to break. Now, the next one says Chelsea scouts a goalkeeper called Diego Costa to address goalkeeping situation. It's a star in Porto anyway, but right now Chelsea are really trying to see how they can get Costa to Stamford Bridge. Yeah, and it's like their vision 2030. It's really on course. After spending over 500 million pounds in buying players left, right, and center, it's still not done with going for players. But there's still one important transfer that they have to do. Let them buy all the best players in the world. Let them buy all the best keeper in the world. If they didn't make that transfer, it is just effort in futility. What transfer?
I'm talking about a coach. They still don't have a coach that can manage these young, talented players to achieve their goal. Diego Costa, a very good keeper, is a star in Porto, take it or leave it. But when it comes to Chelsea, what's going to happen to Arrizabalaga? Let's give it to Arrizabalaga. Since Mendy had injury, he has been performed optimally. That's the truth. He has not been misbehaving like the Arrizabalaga that we used to know. So if you now bring Costa now to the Chelsea squad, what will happen to Arrizabalaga? So someone that has been doing very well for you for the past 7 or 8, about 5 or 6 months now, if I get this correctly. So you now want to bring another good established coach. If you want to look for a keeper, you can look for a second choice goalkeeper, not an established first goalkeeper who is a star where he is to come and, well, it depends on what motivates an individual, but I don't think it's the right choice.
Let's see what Chelsea will be doing concerning Diogo Costa in that particular move to Chelsea. Well, that will be it on 360 Sport. Once again, the soul of those who lost their lives, rest in peace in Turkey and in Syria. I've been with Olawale Peters. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adeni, for having me. It's my pleasure.
I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.